welcome to Tech Site Skill, your free website design training. My name is Greatness Washington, and today I'll be talking to you on how to host your website. So, in the last video, we talked about how to make your website mobile friendly, and also we talked about how to uh, take your website live by publishing your website using the free website, the Wix free website. Now, in this video, we're talking about hosting. So, what exactly is hosting? If you think of hosting, the simple way to think of hosting is basically putting your website in a storage space on the internet. So let's see what it looks like here. So what is web hosting? Hosting services are basically a storage house for your website. They ensure that your website has a place to live online, making it accessible to anyone on the internet. So if you want your website to be accessible to anyone on the internet, you need to host your website. You need to put your website on a storage house. So I'll give you a simple instance. If you take a picture of yourself and you want that picture to be seen by your friends, you host the picture on Facebook. So you're saying, some people post on Facebook and they say, okay, let me store this here. I don't know if you've seen that before. So you could take the picture, you put it on, upload it on Facebook, upload it on your Facebook page or your Facebook profile. Your friends can all see it. That's exactly what hosting is. You're saying, hey, Facebook or Mac, I want you to just take this picture and store it in your database for me, or put it in your memory. And so when my friends come and ask for it, they can easily just see it, even without me, being there or helping them show it to them. So that's what hosting is about. Hosting is taking a space on the internet and storing your files. You can upload videos, you can upload images. Yeah, you could put different medias on the hosting plan. So that's exactly what your website is. That's what hosting is. You take your website, all the documents, the pages, the images, the text, every single thing as designed, and you then give it to the hosting company responsible for hosting it. Just like on Facebook, you go to Facebook and then you host. Facebook is the hosting company for your own personal media, your pictures and videos. But in this case, there are several hosting companies. So in this video, we're talking about one hosting company, which is Wix. So Wix has their hosting services. So they offer you space. Now spaces differ. They have different sizes. It's like a storage, a memory where you have to store your files, and the storage is limited in size. Just like in your phone, you have a limited storage. You host different things on your phone by snapping pictures and putting movies and storing contact. It's all hosting. The concept of hosting is storing things. You store things to access them later. But the difference is, on the internet, you store things on the internet, so a lot more people can actually view it from anywhere in the world. If your site isn't hosted on the internet, people can't access the site. Now, what's the difference between the hosting and the free website? Is the free website hosted or it's not hosted? Yeah, the free website is also hosted too. Once you create your website on Wix and publish, it's hosted. But it is hosted on Wix free hosting service. Wix gives you a free hosting service with a very limited amount of space and speed. So when you host your own website at a premium plan, Wix gives you the right hosting for your choice based on the kind of website you're designing. If you're designing a mini social media, you need a large memory storage, so you select the Wix high plan or more, which we'll explain further. So just note this: hosting is basically storing your website on a safe house on the internet, using hosting services. So to store your website, you need a hosting service to store your website there. So when someone tells you, hey, you need to host your website, or when you think of hosting your website, you think of, okay, I need to take my website online. I need to take my files and upload them online. I need to push my documents or the website I've designed and send them online. Now, normally, if we're designing a website, in the old times, we design websites offline using the offline software application, which they're not online. Once you design the website offline, you then take it as a document, and then you go to a hosting company and you say, hey, I know you have a storage online that is accessible by millions of people. Please, I would love to buy your hosting service by storing my website in your service in your server or your hosting storage so that people can access it. So you pay the hosting services, they take your file and they store it on the internet for you so that people can actually access the website anywhere in the world. So that's what you think of. Once your website is designed, you think of hosting it by giving it to a hosting service so they can host it. So in this case, in this course, the hosting service we'll be using is Wix. Wix has a hosting service. So Wix is like 3-in-1. You could design the website with Wix. You can actually host the website in Wix. And yeah, so let me take you through the process of hosting a website. Okay, so right here on our website, like I said, we've created the website. We've done everything around the website. If you've not watched the videos on how we came about creating all of this creating this beautiful website, I advise you go to our YouTube, get the video, access our YouTube at Tech Site Skill, and you could see all the videos on how to create a website and learn everything so you can confidently create a website for yourself or for someone. So when you're done and you get to this point, now we need to host our website. So if to host your website, if you go to the top of this page here, look at my mouse, and if you notice I'm hovering and you see an option is popping down. So looking at these options here, going straight to the upgrade. The upgrade is the pink, the purple link saying upgrade. Hosting your website is, hey, it's upgrading your website. Normally your website is on a free version, so Wix will tell you, hey, you need to upgrade your website, right? So when you click on upgrade your website, here they said upgrade to yearly unlimited and save. Okay, they're only just telling you to upgrade your website. So normally when you upgrade your website, you have a free domain, which we'll talk about. You enjoy unlimited speed. That's unlimited boundaries. Boundaries is the speed of your website. So on your mobile device, when you don't have enough storage or space on your phone, your phone begins to hang. That's because you don't have enough space, and or your RAM is just 1 gig RAM, so it's not really fast anymore. But if you have 4 gig RAM on your mobile device, it's very fast. So to host your website, you click on the Wix Upgrade. There are many ways you can host your website on Wix, but right now I'm going to show you how to do it just here. So on your website editor, you just go straight here to the upgrade, and you bring your mouse down to get yearly unlimited. You can click on the compare, whichever. So let's just click on get yearly unlimited. So once you click on this, it opens the upgrade your site with the premium plan, right? So this is where you pay for the hosting service so your site can go live. Now this is a demo website, so I'm not going to pay up to host the live website, but I could take you through it. So in Wix Hosting Plan, you have two versions of the hosting plan. You have the website hosting plan, and you have the e-commerce hosting plan right here. So the website hosting plan is just a professional website. So let's say you're not accepting payments on your website. As long as you're not accepting payments on your website, you go for the website hosting plan. It's great. It's just a professional website. But if you're accepting payments on your website, you go for the e-commerce plan, so you can accept payments. Otherwise, if you go for the website hosting plan and your website accepts payment, like the e-commerce website, you have an online store, you won't be able to access payments. So Wix won't give you access to access payments unless you programmatically build a payment system, which you can't do that unless you're a programmer. So you need to go for the business and e-commerce plan, so that people can make payment on your website, right? So for this course, we'll be hosting our e-commerce because we have a payment system, because we have an online store added to our website. If you've not learned how to add an online store to your website, go to our YouTube channel at Tech Site Skill to get that. So we're going on our e-commerce plan. We're going for the e-commerce plan. Now, if you look at the e-commerce plan, you would see you have the VIP, you have the business unlimited, and you have the basic. Now, these plans differs. Now, the difference on this plan is simply the storage. So here you have storage space. Think of storage space as the amount of gig you have on your mobile phone. So if you have 5 gigs, you're limited to 5 gig storage space. And when you have to watch the number of images and videos that you store on your mobile phone for it to get filled. So if you put in so much images that exceeds 5 gig, it freezes and you can't store more. Then hey, you can't add more images and files. So if you have a bigger style storage, it works the same way. So it's similar. Your mobile device have a storage. Your mobile device is more like a mini server or a hosting service that hosts your images and files. The same way this hosting service company right here. So when you look at the difference here, this has 20 gig. This is storing your website media files and your text, your images, and your videos on the website. So everything about your website is being stored on the hosting service. And the hosting service gives you, they sell you a storage space at a size, limited size, which is here. So the size, what they're selling you is 20 gig. So here is $17 a month for 20 gig. And here you have $25 a month for 35 gigs. And here you have $35 a month for 50 gig. Right. So you pick your plan based on this. And now, which of the storage space should you pick versus which? Now, if you're starting out afresh for your client, or you're just building a basic website, or you just want to set up an online store for a start, if you're building the website for the first time, I advise you start with the basic, the business basic. Select the 20 gig, start that out, and later on you can upgrade. If you exceed the storage space, Wix will notify you beforehand or before time, and they would guide you on how to upgrade to even a bigger version. It's still the same process, coming down here and clicking on the upgrade. So let's assume you click on, we're going to select this plan. Now, this is the e-commerce version. You click on the difference between all this plan and the storage sizes, right? And this plan also gives you access to other features like the e-commerce feature, which is the payments. You could build, manage, and scale your business with Wix, which you have abandoned cards, subscriptions. You can go through this on your own and see exactly what you have on different plans and make your choice. If you show more features, you can add online booking, ticket events, take online orders, and manage hotel reservations. The different things you can do, you would benefit from the Wix Premium hosting plan. So you could go ahead and go through the hosting plan in your own time, explore it, and understand it for your own good. So that's for the e-commerce plan. If you go to the website plan, you also have some options also. You have an option as low as $4. So with this option, you can actually get 1 gig storage. Imagine your phone having a 1 gig storage plan. How many files can you put on it? So you think of that and you think of this. And then you have 500 gig MB. That's for storage spaces. So there's something I want to explain here. In hosting your website, you have to think of your SSL certificate. So on Wix, your SSL certificate is free. If you hover your mouse on this icon, you say keep sensitive data. You'd see the caption there, keep sensitive data on your site secure. IDs, password, credit card numbers, and more. So your site has to be safe on the internet, and in order to keep your site safe, you have to make sure your site has this SSL. The meaning of SSL is secured socket layer. It helps protect your site. So how you know your site is protected is if you look at the URL here. Look at how here is highlighted. If your website doesn't have this padlock right here, right? Know your site is insecure. And when your site is insecure, when people visit your site, the browser tells your visitors that, hey, this site is not secured and don't put in any sensitive information. It gives you, it's bad business. Your customer would leave your site because of that. So if you can easily go ahead and find out if any site is secured by clicking on the padlock. If you see this padlock here and you click on it, it tells you connection is secured. But if it tells you connection isn't secured, know your website isn't secured, and you have to ensure it's secured. So every website is supposed to be secured. So Wix gives you that secured plan for free right here. And the bandwidth, the meaning of a bandwidth is this, is the more media you add to your website, the more bandwidth it requires to keep data downloading smoothly. So for people to access your website, they go to the browser. When they type in the www.yourwebsite.com, the browser requests your website by downloading the website file down to your browser so you could see. Now, the speed or the time frame it takes, the time it takes to download the file to your browser is what is called the bandwidth. That time, sometimes when you access a website, the website is very slow to load. That's the bandwidth. Sometimes when the bandwidth is very low. So for this one, you have a 1 gig bandwidth, which is quite small, and chances are your website won't be so fast when people access it because the bandwidth is limited to 1 gig. The storage space is how many gig do you have to store files. So the difference between the storage space and the bandwidth is centered around speed. On the mobile phone, you talk about RAM. If you're talking about the desktop, when you look at your laptop has RAM and it has a storage size. So on the website, the bandwidth is more about the speed of your website. How fast does your website load and download the website pages to your visitors to view? Now, the storage space is how much can I store on my website? How much images and videos can I store on my website, on my hosting plan? So if you hover your mouse right here, you see get the storage space you want to upload more images, videos, audios, and documents to your Wix site. So you need enough space to store media files. So if you're not storing so much, you just want to create a blog where you create text, upload little few things, then you need a simple 500 MB website. If you feel you'll be storing so much images of high resolution and high size, like 1 gig, 2 gig, or you have so many videos to be uploaded on your website that contains like movie, if you're creating a movie download sites, those are sites where you have so many gigs, you have to go for a higher plan, or you have to go for the Wix Enterprise or VIP plan. So that's the most important thing you have to look out for here on the website hosting. You need to look out for the SSL security, and you have to look out for the speed of your website, which is the bandwidth. You have to look out for the storage space, and every other thing is secondary. So take your time, hover your mouse on this tooltip here, and get more information about your website. So when you host your website, you have a free custom domain name that you can host on your website, you can use for your website, which I'll explain on the domain name version of your domain name video when we talk about the domain name. So basically, you could pick your plan. But for me, I advise when you're picking a plan for a site, if your client doesn't want, if you're hosting a site that doesn't accept payments, you can go for the combo plan for personal use, or you can go for the unlimited. Right. So you go for any of these and you launch your website. So to go for any of this, I'm going to show you how to select any of the plans. So it's very simple. To select any of the plan is same with your website, your Wix website plan and the e-commerce. Simply click on any of the plan here. So for this, I'll just say, okay, we could select the basic plan. So you select the basic plan. Yeah, so it will show you your billing cycle. Do you want to host for 2 years, or do you want to host for 1 year, or you host monthly? So you can pay monthly, and if you pay monthly, it's $21, which is around I think 10,000 naira on a monthly basis. So for some people who don't have money to pay for the whole year, they can pay 10,000 or more for a year. For a month, and check out. So you could do that every month you pay for your website, or you can pay for a year. So the longer the year you pay for, the lesser the price. So if you're paying for a year, you have you save $48. If you're paying for 2 years, you save $132. So for this plan, we'll go for a year. You can pick any same process. So you click on continue to checkout. Okay, so once you're here, it shows you your total bill, how much the summary, your payment summary, how much you to pay. The same way you shop on Jumia, it gives you everything in your cart, and it says, hey, you have to pay $204. You're paying $17 for 12 months, right? And the total cost is $204 to pay for. So all you need to do is fill this information, your card number, the card expiration date, your CVV number behind your card, your first name on the card and the last name on the card, input your address on the card, and the city, the postal code, you could use +234 or the normal postal code. You could browse it on the internet. You select your country, you select your phone, you add your phone number, and you put your company name. It's optional. So every other information here is optional, but anyone you have the star is an option. But I advise you fill everything correctly. So once you're done filling this information, you submit the checkout, you submit the purchase, and once you do that, it will automatically show you successful. And once that is done, you can automatically view your website this way. Now, once you've hosted your website, you will still have this Wix link here. Hosting your website is different from a domain name. Now let me show you a website that I've created for a client that is already hosted, and I'll show you the difference between that. Right, so I'll go to Fix. Okay, so this is a website I designed for a client and hosted for a client also. So it's a company focused on, he said, request trusted local fixers for any home project. So you're looking for electricians and plumbers within Lagos. So now, if you look at this site and you look at the free website, you could see that you see the Wix label right here saying this site was designed with Wix.com website builder, and it's asking you to create your website today. So once you host, every free website comes with this Wix badge. Wix gives you a free website in exchange for you helping them promote their website. So on any of your free websites, you have this Wix display here. And even after you've hosted your website, you still have this display. No, when you've hosted your website, the display goes off. So I hosted this one right now. You can't see the display right here. So that's it. When you host your website, you don't see this display here. It's off, and your clients won't see that you built the website with Wix. All they can see is a simple website like this without any label around Wix. You can't see anything about Wix right here on this website. All you see is just your website. So once you host your website, this goes off and it shows this way. But what that doesn't change is, the only thing that doesn't change is the link. Now, there's a difference between hosting your website and also buying a domain name. First is buying a space on the internet to store your files, and then another is buying an address to access your files. So you store your files. Now you're given a unique link, which is this, to access your website. Even after hosting your website, you still have this unique address here to access your website. But if you want to customize your address to look more business friendly and user friendly, for example, www.yourdomainname.com or www.wigfornigeria.com, you have to buy it. That's buying a domain name. A domain name is buying a unique website address that could be used to access the hosted website on the internet. So take note, hosting your website is buying a space on the internet. Buying a domain name is buying a website address that is customized using your own business name to access your website on the storage space that you have created. So you need a domain name that is customized using your business name. You need to buy a custom name. To buy that custom name, you need to pay for it. It's called domain name. You need to buy your custom name. So this is not a domain. This is a subdomain, which is a domain name hosted under Wix. It's a domain name that is stored on Wix. And that's why you see your business name here, .wix.com. But what you want is www.learntechsiteskill.com, not wix.com. So to buy that, you need to pay for it on the Wix hosting plan. Okay, so that's it. When you host your plan, it comes in slick, in simple as this. And once you launch your website, it shows as this. And yeah, once it shows this way, you know you hosted it. There's no Wix label on it. You then need to buy it. So here, if you look at this, there's a unique URL on this one. There's not. You have the learntechsiteskill.wixsite.com. But if you look at this one, you have yadfix.ng. So I bought this name myself for this company. I hosted the company separate, and then I bought the name separate. So these are two things you have to pay for. In the next video, I'll show you exactly how to buy a domain name. In this video, this is how to buy a this is how to host your website, paying for your website on the internet. And yeah, so I think that's basically what you have to learn from this video. If you have any questions, simply put your questions on WhatsApp, YouTube comments, or send me a message so I could respond to you ASAP. Thank you very much for watching this video. I'll see you in the next video where we talk more about domain name. And yeah, see you in the next video. Happy learning.